Working late again, gonna bring you a very requested piece to review to the table today from The Office. Stay tuned for this incredibly rare and unique Venom Marvel vs. Capcom version variant edition. God, that's a mouthful.
That's what she said.
Hey guys, it's late, so it's dark, so I do apologize for some of the lighting in this video, but today we're going to take an in-depth review from the Extreme Office of this custom 1/4 scale Venom piece. As you can see, not only is it a Marvel vs. Capcom edition, which is a video game where Marvel characters play against Capcom characters, but this is an incredibly unique variant edition. And when I say variant, I mean essentially he's painted differently. So if you were to choose two Venoms in that game against each other, one would be the black edition, which we're going to look at some pictures of, which they made like 40 or 45 of those. One would be this incredible blue edition, which I think they only made, it was either 7 or 11. I can't remember quite the edition size, but incredibly low. So I've had this for about 2 or 3 years, and I actually bought it from a painter who has great hair. And it's ironic I bought it from a painter because I need somebody to repaint part of it, which we will look at today. But I was always a big fan of Marvel vs. Capcom because Street Fighter II was one of my favorite games growing up, and of course I loved comic books, and as you guys know, I loved Venom growing up, as I still do to this day. So I regularly actually was this character in the game. And what I really love about this, I don't really like a lot of MVC pieces, even though I do have a Spider-Man right behind me, that the Extreme Enforcer and #1 fan thinks he's going to win. I also have a gray Hulk as well that I will review very shortly for you guys, probably in the next month. And these are all made by the same custom group that actually there's a lot of controversy about that group. I don't buy anything from them anymore, and realistically I like to stay away from drama. This is a very cool piece. There's a lot going on here, and even though it's not a true pure Venom, and if I had to get rid of all my Venoms, I think I would keep one true pure Venom, and then I would keep this one as well. But before we dive into the Extreme review today, go ahead and check out this statue giveaway. We are going to hit 20,000 subscribers in 2020. To do that, we're giving away a statue every 2,500 subs. At 15,000 subs, the winner will get to choose between these two PCS Mortal Kombat statues. Make sure that you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, and you've hit that bell notification. Then stay tuned towards the end of this video to find out how to enter. So I'm tired and I want to go home, but let's go ahead and dive right into this guy, starting with the concept, which there is a source material, as I said, it's actually from the game. So I searched the internet, and this was the best photo I could find of him in the game. There are some switch out options where you can display him differently, which may match it, but I definitely think that starting at the base here, they have this boring black museum plain base. And of the 3 MVC characters I have, this is the only one that's the boring base, but they did mix it up a little bit with the symbiote leaking off. I'm not a huge fan of this. It's okay. I think it's the weakest part of the statue. However, the stance they got matches the statue very well. So does this color of the variant, and it really pops when you see it in real life, a lot more than you would traditionally think. And I have him displayed here with the shield switch out and the fully transformed head, which is my favorite. In fact, I don't even have the other switch outs. I'll have to show you stock photos of those. So he is blocking a blow. This is when you push backwards on the joystick. If an enemy is attacking you, it will not hurt you as much. Or if you're a pussy and you did the auto mode, you probably saw this shield a lot. But he's very fierce. I love how his tongue is hanging out. I love how sharpened his teeth are. Awesome, awesome stance. Awesome, awesome piece. I think it's very true to the game. He does look well teamed up against some other characters, not particularly the Spidey. In fact, here's a picture of that. And here, I think the issue with this is the Spidey is actually a little bit too low when his shield is out, because his shield implies he's blocking something from above. But I would put him next to the Hulk, but the problem is their profiles are the same, where they're kind of having their left hand out, so you couldn't see much if you put them against each other. Another reason to subscribe if you haven't. So overall concept, I wish they would have done more with the base, tied it to his level, or a level in the game at least. They didn't have to be a boring black museum base, but a lot of the pieces they had actually had this boring black museum base, so that's probably why they wanted to do it, for continuity between the entire line. But I give it a 4 out of 5 because it is so true to the game. It looks fierce, it looks cool. 5 out of 5 would have been to me if the base was better, even though some people like museum bases like this. So design-wise, there's a few different portraits. Let's check those out. First, here is the one that I like. So his tongue is fully out, he's fierce. And then I have to show you some stock photos here, or photos I pulled offline. Here's a transformation head. I'm not a fan, so I left it in the box. And then with his left arm, obviously you have the shield, which is my preference every single time. Then here's another stock photo, because I left it in the box, of just the arm by itself. And in case you're curious, here's a picture of the normal edition, or the black one. Definitely not as cool. I actually would not buy that one. It's really cool on this. You do have some seam line issues, and then you have some seam lines that are covered really well. Take a look at his head right here. There is a seam line, obviously. Anytime you have switch outs on a Venom, you will. It looks okay. The arm right here, they had the black tendrils around it, kind of covering up the seam line, which looks really good. Arms are each a piece, the portrait, the body, and then the base. Now, for some reason, right up here, I don't know why, because it's never been that close to the ceiling, but somehow part of the paint rubbed off. Take a look right here, so it'll be an easy fix for Mrs. X once she can match the paint. But otherwise, the design is good. You know, packaging is great. It was a huge box. I do remember that. Had a little bit of an art box, but it's nothing amazing. So to me, it's between like a 3 and 4, so I put it at a 3. Whenever I'm in doubt, I always go a little bit lower. It's very, very good, very nice, which is a good score. For paint and sculpt, we're going to use the video, and I'll just tell you the paint is phenomenal, and I think it's not only the choice of colors, but it's done really well. There's also some cool stuff going on with the sculpt. All right, so here's the close-ups you guys have been waiting for, starting with the black museum-style base. It's fine. Ooh, a little bit of a paint chip there, easy fix. Not paint chip, but paint mark. But let's talk about the tendrils of Symbiote on the bottom. I'm not a big fan of this. It's probably the weakest part of the statue. Kind of looks like a blob mess. I do like the colors in there. Would have liked to see it a little more symbiotic instead of just like water running out. But let's look at Venom. First, I want to look at the anatomy. I think the anatomy is done really well. He has his larger thighs, and you can kind of see due to the position he's in, it's going to give you a little bit different musculature with the large calves sticking out. So I think the anatomy overall is done very well. It's not super ripped, but you rarely see Venom like that. But more importantly, I like how the black paint really of the symbiote lines really exemplify, using some big words here, that awesome blue variant paint that has this different shadowing in it. Kind of all over the suit, makes it look alive, makes it look moving. And then a really big bonus is the silver spider logo on it. And depending which light you look under, part of it looks silver, part of it looks gold. Under dull light, it's more of a silver, shiny light, it's more of a gold. And I love the amount of black symbiote that's kind of all over. But what is really gold are his fingernails. Sharp, elongated nails that are gold that just really pop. And like I said, it kind of mixes in with that silver / gold. On camera here, it looks more gold than it does silver in real life. And you also see some gold on the tendrils of the shield where he has the spider right here. This is pure gold. I like how kind of this vein work just works throughout it. Very different idea, concept, very different sculpt on this piece. And really, I just want to give you guys some close-ups, and then we'll look at the portrait. Obviously, we're not going to do a in-depth review of the other portrait and switch outs. But this guy, I think, again, a little bit weaker. The tongue itself could have had some more texture on it, could have been a little bit slimier. The teeth look okay. There's a little bit of crossover from the red gums to the teeth. So I think the paint on the teeth could have been better, probably the weakest paint part of it, as well as kind of this part right here, the tendrils or attachments on the gums. They could have used maybe some pink coloring in there, but I don't know how true it was or wasn't to the game. I do like the eye, classic Venom eye right here, and this is more of the silver color that matches the Spidey symbol on his chest. And I do have to say, it's kind of interesting that this is more silver, where this one's more gold. But it really adds that cool contrast to the statue. Great anatomy on his arms. Very hard to describe this piece. So I guess video does better than any words I could say. So I'm really on the fence about the sculpt. Like I said, there's some things that definitely could have been better, but there's some really unique things that they did really good as well. I'm almost in between a 3 and 4, but I think it does make a 4 or a W. So a 4 out of 5, a rail, not quite a grail, but a statue you'd really want. However, on this, I'm extremely impressed with the paint. It really just pops. The gold, the silver, the black, the blue. I absolutely love it. I think the paint is a 5 out of 5 on this piece. Especially impressive for a factory piece. I think a professionally painted piece would have looked better, but very clean. And I think the original retail was around $1,000. We're not going to talk about it because he's not available. I've seen him go for anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. I paid, I think, near $2,000 for him. So it's a great piece. It's unique. I definitely wouldn't sell it, but if I ever did, I think I could make my money back. But overall, is it an X statue? You know, I said during that Venom countdown, you can actually check that out right here, is that he was my favorite Venom statue. So yes, he is an X statue in my opinion. He's a 5 out of 5. He's just so different, so unique, and the colors, the variant aspect of it really makes it pop. I'm a big fan. A lot of times when I do the reviews right here, people always talk about him behind me. So here were your close-ups, but very cool piece. Today, for the comment I want you guys to do is talk about a variant. Talk about a variant of a piece they've made that you like better than the original. This would obviously be one for me. There's a few others like Shard from Sideshow's Court of the Dead. And the reason I ask you to comment, it'll help you win that statue. To win one of these Mortal Kombat statues, all you have to do is comment on a video. At 15,000 subscribers, I'm going to pick a random video and pick a random comment. That person will win the prize. They can choose between these two pieces. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Make sure to hit that Mr. X logo to subscribe and hit that bell notification. Otherwise, check out some of these other custom statues in the playlist. Until tomorrow, talk to you then.